Hello, everyone. Welcome to the VGU.TV Roundtable podcast. I'm your host, James Pungello. This week, we're going to be talking about the Xbox 720 and speculation, rumors, stuff like that. With me this week, I have Josh Mobley.
What's up?
Zac Davis.
Hey.
Allan Muir, is that how you say your last name?
Yes, it is.
And Scott Peltz.
Hey, what's up?
All right, guys, how are we all doing today?
Hungry.
Hungry.
Well, I'm eating at the
Great.
moment. I'll try to be a quiet eater. Let me know if
Yes, please try to be a quiet.
well, I'm not typically a loud eater. Like, I'm not someone who shovels food into my mouth unless I'm starving. I'm not starving, but I am hungry. But I don't chew with my mouth open either. But let me know if somebody's like, I hear you chewing or some shit. I won't be
Okay.
offended.
All right, so yeah, this week we're just going to be talking about the next Xbox, so whatever they happen to call it, you know, the 720, the Durango, whatever. So
Isn't that
we're going to
funny?
start with our first category, which is the announcement release. First thing we're talking about is the announcement of the console itself, since it actually hasn't been officially released or announced. So do we think that's going to happen before, at, or after E3?
Before.
At.
Really? After?
At is, I think, what everyone else
Yeah,
said.
I'm saying at.
Oh.
Yep,
at
E3.
Scott, I thought you said after. I was like, now I'm really curious.
No. Yeah, Microsoft is going to say,
You
fuck
just-
it.
you
They're going to
just
come out and talk about the
you just
Kinect
fucked that
for
up.
90 minutes and then...
Well, isn't that's what they do every
Connect
press conference
2.0.
anyway. So they do every. They're like, here's the 3 games that you're getting excited about. Now let's talk about financial numbers. You're like, fuck.
And to top it off, here's PowerPoint presentation.
PowerPoint. Windows 8.
PowerPoint 2013. It's actually really awesome.
Is it?
Yeah, it's being developed in-house.
Now you can watch your PowerPoints on your Xbox. Woo!
Probably.
Because that's what you wanted to do.
Actually, I would use that for fun.
Zach is like, you know what? I would use that, so back off.
Zach's like,
So-
listen, bro, there's some really good PowerPoints out there on the internet.
So we're obviously it seems like the PlayStation 4 is going to get announced on the 20th of this month at the
Hopefully.
PlayStation meeting. That's what most people are going off this the assumption. That's not obviously fact, but we basically think. Do you guys think that Microsoft might also just be, you know, sticking to the plan of going with E3 because, you know, Sony's going to release, you know, might be announcing its own thing, or do you think that, you know, like, do you think the PlayStation announcement, if they do announce PlayStation 4 on the 20th, do you think that'll affect Microsoft's plan going forward?
Probably not.
I
Microsoft's
doubt it.
probably going to have their own event. Don't they usually have their own event anyway? Like, pre or post E3? They always have some little thing.
I mean, I really think they're going to announce it. I think their plan is to just go out hard and like, because they always go first at E3, right? So I figured that they are just going to come out and they're going to say some, you know, I don't know, have someone make some kind of speech, and then boom, new Xbox, and then just talk about it for the show. And I think that's going to be it. I think they're going to, well, no, I don't think they're going to do what they did to the 360, what they did to the old Xbox, meaning abandon it overnight. I think that they will announce stuff that will have to do with the Xbox and the new one. But yeah, I think E3, and they're not gonna do the whole. Let's talk about our current system, and then oh, by the way, we have one more surprise. Bam! No, it's gonna be like,
Get it
what's
outta
up, guys? Fuck the 360. Here's the new one. Let's go.
Yeah. I doubt they would. I mean, I really can't see a scenario where they would decide to just give a tease at E3 and then try to do their own thing after. That seems ridiculous.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a full-on announcement at E3, but at least for February, they have this new version of Office coming out. Like, they're rolling out the new Office 365, and as a company, I think they really want to spend February pushing that instead of focusing on a new Xbox when the PS4 hasn't been announced officially yet.
Mm-hmm.
And they have all these plans, like conferences and workshops for it already planned that I don't think they're in a position to push their next Xbox yet. Up until E3.
See,
Interesting.
I don't think so. I think they're just gonna do kind of what Sony's doing. They'll have some event around March or April probably. That's what I think. And they're gonna do it on like MTV or some stupid shit like they did with the 360, and they're gonna be like, "Man, come see the future of Xbox." And then they're gonna have the whole dramatic thing they did with the 360, because they unveiled it at that thing before E3, wasn't it? Pretty sure it was before E3, and then E3 came around and they kind of elaborated on everything. Like they had a really short event where they were like, "This is it. These are the graphics. Like, look how crazy it is. Here's like some promotional videos," and then they just dropped the mic.
It was.
You
know what? You're right. They did do something. They did do some mic dropping on MTV. I do remember that.
Called it.
Oh, was that before or after though? And
pretty sure it was
did they
before.
actually show it?
Yeah, they showed it. They showed the whole thing. Like they had that woman come out on stage. Okay, remember they had that woman come out on stage and she like pulled it out of a backpack and was like, "Bam!"
Yeah,
and
I remember that. I remember that.
Everybody's like, "Whoa!"
And then E3 started with Jay Allard wearing a suit jacket, jeans, and a hoodie over the suit jacket.
Dude, Jay Allard was a beast. All right, I miss that guy. He's the guy.
He doing? What's Jay Allard up to? Is he still bald?
He left the Xbox thing to do Zune, and then after that kind of fell through, he left Microsoft. But I don't know where he is now. But I know a couple years ago he left Microsoft. But
that'd be an interesting.
Dude, that's the guy that sold me on the Xbox. Like that guy. He's the reason I wanted a 360, because it's just the way he talked about it. Like, yes, I'm on board, Jay Allard. Now it's all about Captain Jack and Paz.
They don't have Peter Moore either anymore. But you know who they do have? What's his name from Sony? He's tall and British.
Tall and British.
I don't remember.
Man.
I know who you're talking about. The guy from.
They have that tall white guy now every year.
Guy from Atari, right?
Yeah, that guy. They have him. He's kind of boring. I mean, even Peter Moore was like, entertaining, and he was like, "Oh, I got this tattoo on my ass, Grand Theft Auto 4, baby," and you're like, "Whoa!" But I mean, now he's just at EA Sports, like, man, EA Sports, son. You want another Madden? Here you go. Like, he doesn't really, I don't know.
All right,
it's a shame he left, because Peter Molyneux would be perfect for that.
Ooh,
Phil Harrison.
For that role of Microsoft.
Phil Harrison.
Say what you will.
Harrison.
Say what you will about Peter Molyneux. I fucking love that guy.
Come on,
I love Peter Molyneux.
Yeah, like as crazy.
Don't believe anything he says, but he's
the
awesome.
craziest shit, but like his games are good, so it doesn't matter. He's always like, "It's going to blow your mind," and you're like, "Well, it didn't blow my mind, but it was fun, Peter." Anyone remember Milo? That shit was crazy.
Oh god.
Yeah.
That's when the Kinect was actually really cool.
Well, the Milo thing was just unfortunate because they just did it wrong. They put Milo and Kinect together as if they were the same thing, instead of Milo being a project for the Kinect. It was kind of like, no, the Kinect and Milo are the same thing. So when Milo didn't happen, people were like, "Oh, the Kinect is just stupid."
Well, because Milo was never really a game, was it? Like,
it
was some kind of a project that was being developed that got scrapped.
It was at Lionhead. It was a game for a while, but then it kind of just became, oh, it's a tech demo. They were making it a game, but they kind of were like, no, forget that. And then they did Fable: The Journey.
All right, so do you guys have anything else to say about
I have one more thing to say about Peter Molyneux.
Okay, go ahead. Say about Peter Molyneux.
Peter Molyneux's a beast.
Yeah,
I can talk all day about that guy.
Did any of you guys subscribe to the Peter Molyneux Twitter account?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No, but it sounds hilarious.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's good shit.
That's it. I want to mention.
That's a good Twitter account to follow.
You know what's another good one is like there's a fake Kaz Hirai one. That one's fucking hilarious.
Oh man, that's got to be good.
It's so funny. It's always stuff about like how the Vita is not selling good enough, or like how they're copying Nintendo or something. It's really funny.
Okay, so after the obviously the announcement, we have the release date. When do you guys think we're going to be seeing the next Xbox in stores?
End of the year.
This year.
Yeah, this year. I mean, if so, everyone's saying Sony's probably going to push this year. I'm pretty sure Microsoft's going to want to come out for the holiday.
Yeah, Sony's next year. Like I said in the PS4 roundtable, Sony's going to be next year, early I think, and Microsoft's going to be this year.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if Microsoft said coming this holiday with so and so and so and so and PowerPoint 8.
No,
Oh,
you know
I
what?
think-
Fuck it. They're gonna pull a Sega Saturn, and they're gonna say,
Ooh.
and the system is available
Nah.
right now.
Right now.
They better not.
Dude, I'm gonna be on the Microsoft Store website during their press conference in E3, just in case that happens, so I can just be like, "Oh, there it is, purchase."
There it is. Purchase.
Nobody's developed
Well,
any
I
games
don't
for
think
it.
so. It doesn't matter. It's gonna be running Windows 8.
How
That's
do you
what
know
I-
that?
Mhm.
How do you know that? You don't know that.
I just said that's what I think. You didn't let me finish my
They come out to like Xbox 8, drop the mic. Like, you know,
Hey, for all I know, they could do what they did with the Xbox 360 Slim and just have everyone who's at the event has a voucher.
now I really want to go to E3.
Yeah, now we need
just
to
to see if I can get something for free.
Yeah.
Did you
So
ever-
are we all kind of in agreement that we think it's going to come out, like before the end of the year, like maybe holiday?
like November?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking fall.
Yeah.
Because they said, or I don't know that they said, but insiders have kind of reported that we would probably be playing the next Xbox right now if the Kinect wasn't uber successful.
Mhm.
So I think that
But you
they're
don't
very
know.
far in development, and I think there's no chance of them missing the holiday 2013 date.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
Kinect
was a
was
whole,
successful?
There was a whole
It
dev
was.
kit leak.
The funny
It was
thing about
incredibly successful.
the funny thing about Kinect is that for guys like us, it was like, oh, this is just stupid. It's just kids games and stuff. For the actual business side of it, it was phenomenal because it took away a big market that the Wii had, and it brought a lot of people over to well, just do it on the Kinect because the older kids already have the Xbox, and then we can just add this on here, and then we have them moving around. And you can do the dancing games are better, and for the kids and stuff.
sold
People loved it.
something
It
like
sold very well.
14 million units in like its first 8 months or 9 months or a year or something.
No, it was it shipped that much. It sold 2 to 3 million. Let's not get out of hand here. I don't think
Yeah,
it
I don't know about
hang
you,
on.
but
It has sold 18 million as of January 9th, 2012.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I played that Star Wars Kinect game. It's awful.
I reviewed it. It's terrible. I mean, there were parts of it that I enjoyed, and then I saw they were trying, because I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt that they were trying to do some good things, but for the most part it was ugh. But anyway, yeah, no, but the Kinect really was successful from
Actually,
just
seeing
the business.
18 million as of the 9th of January of last year.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Did you say 18 million? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said 18. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you said fewer than that.
To be
Yeah,
fair,
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of those Kinects were packed in to some of those consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they
Yep.
still could have bought the 4 gigabyte console without the Kinect, because I remember I was working at Toys R Us until the early 2012 there. So just after this stat was released, a few more months, and we still always had the bundles where you could get either the 4 gigabyte by itself or you could get the one with the Kinect. And people were still picking the one with the Kinect. The Kinects were flying off the shelves when we had sales, like Black Friday and stuff. People were buying those Kinects. We had it for like $10 off or something. They were going nuts, boom, 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 off the shelves. So it did do really well. It's just for hardcore gamers who are more into the shooters and the more mature games and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't fit the bill for us, but it was a success.
They had a thing in Forza where you could move your head and look around, and then it would accidentally do it for me, so I unplugged the Kinect. No, I was like, fuck you.
So, in terms of, we're going to talk about possibly Kinect 2.0 a little later, but in terms of naming for the console, what do you guys think the name is going to be? We have tons of possible names. I mean, the Xbox 720, people kind of just use that as the generic term, but I don't think that's ever been in the running. But we have the code name of Durango. We have Xbox 8 to deal with Windows 8. We have just Xbox, you know, kind of like doing a Final Destination, just cut the out kind of thing. So what do you think it's going to be called?
They'll call it Xbox 11 because they'll be like, it runs DirectX 11. I'll drop the mic and they'll be like, it also runs PowerPoint.
Man, there's so much drop micing in your Xbox fantasies, Josh.
It's because they don't care. They just like they're like, you're gonna buy it. It's an Xbox.
Are they just continually picking up the mic and then dropping it?
Yeah, I guess.
Someone else picks it up and then says something and then drops it and then someone else picks it up.
It's just constant like distortion coming out of the mic every time it hits the ground. The audience is like, hey, please stop doing that. Can you just wear a headset?
And then they start throwing.
Yeah, then they just start throwing.
You know what? Let's go back to dropping mics. I'd prefer that.
And then you hear like the scream of the someone like someone who's the mic's coming at. You hear like a whoop, and then like you hear like hit them in the face.
But really, Xbox 8 or Xbox, I think, is guaranteed. I think Xbox 8. Because, check this out. Okay, imagine an 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Infinity.
Guess what happens in the middle of an 8? It makes an X.
Oh, shit.
I like that.
Or you turn it on your side and it looks like an infinity, and then
Fuck it, man.
just
Do
blow
both.
your mind.
Put it at a diagonal.
Yeah.
Which it depends on how you're looking at it, homie.
So they're gonna come up with some gimmicky ass like
They are.
Xbox Infinity. What? Like they're gonna get the guy from the Halo multiplayer to come out and announce the console.
Xbox 8!
He's just like Xbox 8. You're gonna buy
the guy,
it.
like the uber zealous, SWAT.
Yeah, SWAT. He's having like an aneurysm on stage. It doesn't even matter. He's just like Xbox. It runs DirectX and PowerPoint. Blood vessels are just bursting in his head.
Oh my god. So yeah, I think so Xbox 8 is that. Does anyone have any other alternate theories that they think is going to come? Naming theories.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the 8.
I probably just Xbox maybe.
Yeah, it worked for Apple, but just the iPad.
No, it didn't.
For a second, I thought
the shit out of like every kid I talked to. They're like, dude, I don't know which iPad I just bought. I was
Wait.
like, oh.
Wait, you gotta wait. I'm sorry. You're gonna for the not as tech savvy as you audience here. What are you talking about? Because I know there was iPad 2.
All right, so
iPad 3. There was the new
first
iPad.
And then there was
Yeah, the new
iPad
iPad.
2, and then the third iPad is just called iPad.
Oh,
I
fuck.
thought it was called the new iPad.
I heard the disdain in James' voice. Like, oh fucking.
So yeah, like
That's just god. That's like the fucking it's kind of like the Rambo series with the naming. You know, First Blood, Rambo, First Blood Part 2, then Rambo 3, then Rambo.
Yeah.
Like,
I have
what?
now I have this vision of the Halo guy coming out at E3 and be like, it's called Xbox, and then James is just like, fuck this shit. He just goes and buys a PlayStation. He's like, I can't deal with it not having a number.
I can't do it. There's no number. It's not the first one though. It's messing me up. I don't
well,
like it.
especially like the iPads were like only 3-4 years apart from iPad to iPad. Like, that's not far enough apart to separate it in people's minds when they both still cost hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, I know. Even the first original iPads are still way overpriced.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Nexus 7 all the way.
And to be fair, the original Xbox
Kindle
came out
Fire!
12 years, nearly 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
pretty
sure
it
some-
did, huh?
Some people have forgotten about it.
That's true.
Jesus. You
I
know,
wanna-
that makes me feel really, like, old, but when I think about it, I was in 6th grade when the original Xbox
Yeah,
came
like you were
out.
a kid.
So that then it doesn't make me feel as old, but, I mean, I'm only 22, and I'm thinking, like, man, that's so long ago.
I want to make a correction. I said the Final Destination series did the taking the away. That's not true. The Fast and Furious series is the one that did that. Final Destination added in the fourth film.
Is
So
Fast and
I just
Furious
want to make sure
6
that
called
everybody out there
Fa-
that's a film aficionado doesn't rip my head off because that was.
Wasn't
Although if you're a
Fast
film aficionado, you probably don't follow the Final Destination sequels.
Wasn't the Fast and the Furious 5 just called Fast and
It was
Furious?
no, Fast and Furious 4 was just called Fast and Furious, and then there was Fast 5, and now it's gonna be like Fast 6.
Pretty soon it's not even gonna be a racing movie. It's just gonna be a bunch of people not eating.
Wax on Speed?
What? No, Fast,
not
you
be-
asshole.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Fast.
It's like, man, I gotta lose weight. Fast 6.
All right, so
Oh my God!
unless someone else had another name,
Taking it off the rails.
The next topic is what's inside. So the
Woo.
Windows.
sorry, my
Yeah,
Windows.
Windows.
Yeah, watch, it just runs
completely
Windows 8. It
messed
doesn't even
up.
have its own infrastructure.
What are we gonna I'm like, what kind of power do you guys think we're gonna be looking at for do you think it's gonna be on par, just slightly below, just slightly above the PlayStation?
You know what would be nuts, actually? Hear me out. Like, I just had, like, an epiphany for a second.
All
What
right.
if, like, this next Xbox just runs Windows 8? Like, what if it's just, like, a proprietary PC, and you could just run PC games on it?
Well, have you heard of the Surface RT, which is running a stripped-down version of Windows 8 where you can't get apps other than through the Microsoft App Store, and then they have to be approved for that device? They already have the system in place for it.
Yeah, so, like, what if they're... And then, Steam could run on it. But, I mean...
Oh, hell no, they wouldn't like
But they
that.
probably wouldn't do that. But what if they did? What if they were like...
That would be great. Like, I would drop my pants for the Xbox.
Yeah, I would actually, and I would be like, man, that's pretty awesome, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah, because
I-
last I checked, Gabe Newell was pretty much pro PS3.
Yeah, well, what's funny
Well,
is like
before
when
that, he was
generation
pretty
started, he was,
anti-consoles
like,
at all.
pretty- Yeah, he was
Well,
pretty
he was-
anti-PS3, like in the beginning. He was like, man, it's terrible. And then after a while, he like came out on stage and was like, yeah, Portal 2, son, with the Steams on the PSNs, and they connect. And you were like, man, he just took a whole 180 on that, didn't he? But I think
He's not a politician. He can't do this.
How dare you?
not a. You know what? Anyone can change their mind after, getting enough evidence for it. It's not a bad thing. It's a bad thing when you change your mind just 'cause. But I honestly think the reason he went 180 on his opinion is because he finally realized that the Xbox 360 wasn't the open thing that they said it was going to be when it was launching, and the PS3 kind of became more open. So.
I thought
And
they
maybe
made more restrictions with the
Sony was
PlayStation
like
3.
totally down for letting. Maybe he was like, I don't want to do this unless we can, plug it into Steam. And Xbox was like, fuck you, and
Mm-hmm.
and
Fuck you.
and Sony was like, yeah, whatever. So I don't know. That's all like weird back end stuff that happens that we don't get to hear about.
Yeah, like what kind of
But-
deal they struck.
You never
Things
know,
like
because
that.
like Gabe Newell came out along with some of the people at Blizzard. They were very anti-Windows 8. They called it like what did they call it? Like a train wreck or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Gabe was
did
super,
call it a
super
train
down
wreck.
on it.
But I mean, it kind of is in terms of gaming because of how closed off it is for discovering new apps with the new way the App Store runs, and people can't find the start menu.
I mean, I think I like Windows 8. I don't think there's anything wrong with it really.
I still have Windows 7.
It's different. I mean, yeah, my home computer is on Windows 7, but I'm perfectly okay with Windows 8. The whole can't find the start menu thing, I think that has been greatly exaggerated. It is not.
Actually,
I don't
I
think.
have a computer that runs Windows 8. I hate the damn thing. I have to go
Yeah.
back to like old man PC desktop mode all
James
the
is
time.
still
And if I get out
rocking-
of there, I am like, oh my god,
James
what
is
am I
still
gonna
rocking
do?
Windows 95. He's like, all I can play is Warcraft 2, but I don't give a shit.
I think we had a discussion about how awesome the Windows 95 logo was.
It was
It
pretty
was
awesome.
great.
On a previous podcast, we definitely talked about
They
the
also
Windows
had
95
cool
You guys
logo.
sound
notice how
Yeah,
like
that, like-
it's every other Windows release that's awesome. Like Windows 3.1 was a pretty big step. Windows 95, not that great. Windows 98, awesome.
Yeah, Windows 98 was
what was after that?
grew up
Windows
on.
2000, I guess it's okay. Windows XP, amazing.
Forgot
Windows
about Windows
Vista,
Me.
not great.
Vista,
Windows
nope.
7, fantastic. Windows 8, some people are not so hot about it.
Yeah.
You should. Anyone remember Windows Me?
Yeah, my buddy had Windows ME.
Yeah, my dad.
I think it was terrible. I had a
funny
blue
because-
screen every day.
My dad's like a PC gamer, and he's like a huge computer nerd because like he kind of just grew up around him, so he just learned how to do them because he grew up in the heyday of them and shit. But I remember being a kid and we got Windows 2000. I thought it was like the coolest shit because we had upgraded from 98 or whatever. And he's like, "Yeah, we got Windows Me." Man, Windows Me was on that computer for like a week. I swear to God. And then all of a sudden I get on his computer. It's like Windows 2000, and I'm like, "What happened to Windows Me?" He's like, "Oh, it sucks. I went back to the other one." I always remembered that. So I was always like, "Yeah, Windows Me is apparently like crap." But and you know what's funny is like. When I got my laptop a couple years ago, it had Windows Vista on it, which this was before 7. And it was like a couple months before 7 came out, but they were like, "We're going to send you a free upgrade to 7, like when you buy the laptop." So I was like, "Oh, cool," and then I was using Windows Vista for a while thinking, this ain't that bad. I don't know why everybody hates it. And then when I got Windows 7, I'm like, "Man, this is so much better."
Yeah.
So now I'm like very anti-Windows Vista. Oh, that's what they get called it, Xbox Vista. No, I'm kidding.
Boom.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
Everyone immediately is just like, ah.
So there's been a lot of rumors about the fact that the next Xbox might have a Blu-ray player in it. So what do you guys think about Blu-ray?
I think
Yes,
I think
will.
they're gonna have to.
Yeah.
They're gonna
I
have
don't see
to.
them
They're
making
gonna
a
have to cave in
proprietary
and give
format
Sony that
like
money.
the Wii U.
Hmm.
I think what they'll do is they'll have a Blu-ray player, and then they will either at launch or down the line. I think it's possible at launch, but I'd say almost definitely down the line, remove the optical drive completely.
Or sell
they
one
will
without
not.
one.
They absolutely will not launch without an optical drive, but I think they could very well offer an option without one.
Mm.
And I think down the line, like a year or two away after launch, I could see them.
Like,
You know,
are you thinking like a terabyte hard drive inside?
no, I don't think so.
Maybe like probably like
I think
200.
that it'll be, I don't know, like 250 and 500 gigs. And I think that they'll compress files. I don't think the downloads won't be 50 gig uncompressed, games. They'll be your, I don't know, 9 to 15 gig files.
Okay.
Because like Steam games aren't that big, right? And 90%, and 90 is probably actually kind of generous, probably more like 95 to like 98% of the users will not notice a difference between compressed and uncompressed files in games.
Yeah, it's only the ones that
And-
really dig.
Like I think that, yeah, I mean, you would have people saying like, "Oh, this PS3 game only takes up 19 gigs of space. What's that bullshit?" Like, why isn't it taking up 50? Or you'd have people uncovering Metal Gear Solid 5 and being like, "It takes up all 50 gigs. It can never be on the Xbox." Like, that's bullshit. It's like compression is so efficient and good these days.
Yeah.
Like, the vast majority of people won't notice. And I think that Microsoft will get to a point where they're saying, "Hey, get on our system, experience the future, buy your GTA 5 expansion, which is exclusive to the 720, by the way, and get it day and date downloaded."
Can I just say I really hate exclusive DLC? Like, kind of pisses me off.
Just because you're always on the receiving end.
No, wait, hang on now. Like, Xbox gets some DLC early and stuff. A lot, you know what? On all the PS3 stuff, like, we always get like exclusive Assassin's Creed content, always.
Assassin's Creed. All right, you get
And
Assassin's Creed.
I think it's dumb. Like, no, because I have friends that play Xbox, and I'm sure they want to play those Benedict Arnold levels too.
My brother had to buy a second copy of the game because he wants to play those levels.
I know, and it's like, why shouldn't somebody with an Xbox be able to play those levels? Like,
it seems a little ridiculous that like a company that is saying, all right, well, we're going to put our game out on multiple platforms, but then also kind of half backtracking and saying, but we'll let some of the content be exclusive to one console. It's like either make an exclusive title or don't. I mean, I know that it's all about money. It always comes down to money,
Yeah.
and the fact that they can sell copies of the game, but they can still preserve a little bit more cash for themselves by inking a deal with one of the companies. I understand that, but it's kind of just digging the consumer over.
It might
and
have
I don't
something.
think people really like it.
It also might have something to do with sales. I know for a fact that Call of Duty outsells everything on the Xbox and the PC.
Oh yeah.
But maybe, I'm not sure about this, maybe, it's just a theory, I haven't looked at the numbers, but maybe Assassin's Creed sells more on the PS3 than it does on the 360, and maybe that's why Sony's more willing to shell out money for exclusive stuff. I don't know, shrug. It seems plausible to me, because I know, you gotta know that Microsoft's like slipping Activision millions of dollars so that they can have all those maps months before everyone else.
I mean, they're doing that for that. They have the Skyrim content has been delayed to the
Finally
PS3.
getting it this month.
Although
Jesus.
although there was also all kinds of shit with the Skyrim on the PS3 in terms of just that it was glitchy as hell and was problems.
I don't blame Bethesda, but I mean, it's like was partially their fault, partially Sony's fault. But I mean, we're getting kind of off topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but sorry.
But okay, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I personally don't think it's going to have Blu-ray at all.
You don't think so? Why not?
Because it's been people have been wanting it so much for so long. And say what you want. I don't see Microsoft having it. Maybe down the line, like 3 or 4 years after launch.
You mean they might put it into new versions of consoles, or you mean add something like the HD DVD thing where you plug some shit in?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't see that happening.
Read times would be so slow.
Yeah.
Compared to a built-in one.
I think the hard thing with that is the reason they didn't add it to the 360 is because then you end up with your N64 expansion pack or your Motion Plus or whatever other kind of add-ons companies started to adopt, and it splits the user base, right? If you say, hey, you guys can make games on Blu-ray now, you're going to have companies say, awesome, we're going to make, I don't know, Halo 4 only on Blu-ray. But what about all the people that didn't buy the Blu-ray drive? Now they can't play Halo 4, and you're segmenting your market. You have to... You have to be all in. You have to say this new system either has it or it doesn't, and it either always will or always won't. And DVD just isn't enough. And I don't think that they will put money into a proprietary disc format like Nintendo did with the Wii U.
No
the Wii U is not Blu-ray, but it's like it. And I don't see Microsoft doing
Really?
that.
The Wii U? I thought the Wii U ran DVDs.
No.
No, it's
a proprietary
That's
format.
ridiculous.
50
That's so
gigs.
dumb.
Yeah.
Now, can you hack to run DVDs like the Wii?
Um,
Is there a hack out yet?
I mean, I know for a fact I've looked
proprietary
into it.
disc, so.
There is for the Wii U. You know how the Wii U emulates the Wii menu? It's just the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. Sorry, it's so dumb. That's like if you were playing your 360 and every time you wanted to play an Xbox game, you had to go into another menu that booted up and it was like you were playing an old Xbox. It's really dumb. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've seen it done, and apparently hackers have found a way where if you go into the Wii U and go into the Wii menu, you can load the homebrew channel on it the way you do on an old Wii, and it works. But it doesn't affect the Wii U at all. It just affects the Wii files on it. And yeah, I mean, it's odd, but whatever.
Well, in terms of the Blu-ray, what I'm thinking of here, and this is kind of my reasoning for thinking they are going to have a Blu-ray, is that Microsoft, for a while now, has been trying to push the Xbox as this entertainment center. It's not just for games; it's for this and that and all this other crap. They basically want you to have an Xbox hooked up to your TV, and they want all your entertainment to go through that Xbox. So, Blu-rays are now the way that things are done. Back in 2005, that wasn't the way it was. Sony was pushing the Blu-ray. Microsoft backed HD DVD. It's just like way back in the 80s, Beta and VHS. It was the same thing. It was a war between formats. HD DVD lost. That's why Xbox didn't have it. Now we're looking at Blu-ray is the format. There's no question anymore that Blu-ray is the format people are using for their home videos and like their home they have a Blu-ray player attached to their TV, and that's how they're watching their movies. That's how they're buying them. So Microsoft is going to want to have the thing that everybody wants, to be able to pop a Blu-ray into an Xbox and then be able to play it. They want to be able to watch the Avengers or Dark Knight Rises or whatever through their Xbox. So they have to have that Blu-ray thing. And also, if you're looking at the games, it kind of starts to get ridiculous when you have like 3 different discs for an Xbox game and you only got 1 for a PlayStation game, because they have it on those Blu-rays. You want that extra space that the Blu-rays are able to provide, especially with now. Not only are we talking about just regular Xbox 360 games taking up a few extra things. Imagine if they're still using a DVD but trying to push these next-gen games on it. It would be ridiculous. They have to up the format. And they have to kind of play to, the fact, hey, look, Sony won with the Blu-rays, so adapt to that, because it's what you want to do as an entertainment thing. More people are using their Xboxes on the whole more for entertainment and other things more than games.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I'm with you that I think they'll do it, but I've got some reasons why I don't think they'll do it. One is because I think they can I think they could realistically get away with saying, oh, it runs DVDs, but, in the next couple years we're going to have one that doesn't even have a disk drive. Like, it's download only, but it's way cheaper, And then they'll push their digital distribution and all that. Because, honestly, I think in the next 10 years we're not even really going to have discs. It's kind of bold. Like, the next 10 to 15 years, maybe, we probably won't even be buying games on disc. It'll probably be mostly digital. So
I don't think that's bold. I think that is very factual, and I think 10 to 15 years is a little long, to be honest. I'd say 10 years at most.
Okay.
Yeah, like after this generation, I think.
Well, let's say 10. Let's say 10 years.
During the next generation, it'll stop.
Why does Microsoft want to? They're gonna have to buy the technology off Sony. Sony's gonna get hell of money. They're gonna get like a.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
they're gonna get a small cut
they have the
of
selling
every
point.
Xbox.
But then they have the selling point of saying, well, you know what? Though it's the Xbox 720 or whatever they call it, Xbox 8 is your home entertainment center, and you can put your Blu-rays in there. Because right now, let's say you're somebody who only has a TV, and you have an HD TV, but you have nothing else. Let's just imagine that you have nothing else, and you want to get into the game, and you want to get into this entertainment mindset where I want to plug up one thing and get as much value as I can. If you buy, say, an Xbox 8, you're able to play DVDs and you're able to play Xbox 8 games.
And
if you buy a PlayStation 4 and watch PowerPoints. If you buy a PlayStation 4, you can get you don't have to buy a Blu-ray player, because you know what? You can pop in Blu-rays. So now, instead of buying DVDs, you can buy the new format. You can buy the HD stuff that you see in Best Buy or Walmart or wherever you go. You get that, plus you get the high def games that the PlayStation 4 has. I mean, that's just a win-win for that particular person. And it's combining the two devices into one. You don't have to have a separate Blu-ray player. Right now in my room, I have an Xbox 360 and I have a Blu-ray player. I have to have both of those. If I have a PlayStation 3, if I owned that PlayStation 3 exclusively, if it wasn't a family thing and I had it up here, I wouldn't have had to buy that Blu-ray player. So I think Xbox, Microsoft doesn't want to have to, force people to buy more than one thing, because not only do they not get that revenue, but people are probably going to go to the PlayStation if they have to pick. And if that's what they're picking on, if it's a family picking for, what we're going to put in our entertainment center, the choice would be clear.
Well, time will tell. But like, we said, they're probably going to, I would hope so, that Microsoft makes a big push for digital distribution. Honestly, I want more games on the damn thing. There's nothing to play.
We're actually going to talk about that a little bit later, but
okay.
But yeah, the next thing is the Illuma Room. Have you guys you've all heard of this?
I've heard of it, but I know very little about it.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm not like huge up on what it is, but we all saw like the tech demo, basically like the kind of the proof of concept that Microsoft put in there. They haven't put out a whole lot more than that in terms of what it's going to be and how it's going to be integrated. But we can guess that it's going to be integrated into Kinect 2.0. I'm not exactly sure how the display is going to work, like because you need a projector to project those images out, past your television. So I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work, and how expensive it's going to be to get some kind of projector system, or how that's going to work. But what do you guys think in terms of, like, do you think it's going to be like Illumaroom is going to be something that's going to be is it going to be kind of like the Kinect where they try to shoehorn it into a few hardcore games, like, say, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary and Mass Effect 3, where you have some functionality that you can use? Or do you think they're going to try to really push this in every game they have?
They'll probably try to push it in every game they have. I have a feeling, like, because, we're starting to notice that, like, lots of games like Splinter Cell and stuff are getting, like, all that exclusive Kinect support, like Mass Effect 3 got. I think Microsoft's going to really be like, hey, you need to put it in the game, But I don't know. I'm not really sold on the whole Kinect thing. Just like I'm not really sold on the PlayStation Move. I'm not a fan,
Yeah, I think the Kinect has, as everyone, I guess, kind of said before the Kinect came out, has so much possibility. So what could be done with it? Like, it is, in theory, the futuristic sci-fi device that you see in a lot of like 50s sci-fi, right? Where someone enters a room and it scans them, and the room greets them, and doors unlock or lock depending on if they're authorized based on a body scan, and all this kind of crazy stuff. And like, I think that if Microsoft is serious about it, which, the Kinect was testing the waters, right? Like, it was a kind of a radical step. Like, yeah, the Wii kind of pioneered motion control, but the Kinect is not a clone of the Wii at all. It is completely in the other direction. And I think that the Kinect was Microsoft testing the water and seeing how much interest there even is in this kind of thing. Because they gutted the Kinect pretty heavily before launch. Like, I think it at one point had 2 processors in it, and they took one of them out before it launched, which is why it can kind of lag and be kind of weird at times. They cut a lot of the internals out of the system,
to make it cheaper,
the accessory.
though, right?
Exactly, yeah, to cut down on costs. Because again, they weren't sure there was a market for this. I'm sure all of their marketing analytics said, yeah, there is, but they didn't know. But now they know there's a huge market. Like James mentioned before, 18 million Kinects in a brief period of time. And I think that if they really dedicate a lot of their resource to this new Kinect, which we all know there's going to be a new Kinect, it could really be something great, and maybe this is just me getting on the hype train once again, but I believe in the Kinect. I think that it could really change how we play games, and we'll have to see if Microsoft lets that happen, by which I mean how closed or open of a system it is, and if they put enough resources into it and enough effort. Like, if they say every Xbox comes with a Kinect and every single game will support a Kinect. Like, they did that with Xbox Live, right? Said that every game is going to have Xbox Live compatibility, and that was kind of a crazy thing at first, but it worked out well. And if they do that with a Kinect and really push it, I think it could be really, really effective.
We tend to forget that the original Xbox games weren't all Xbox Live compatible.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, saying they're Xbox Live compatible is different from saying they have multiplayer, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's just saying, like, it'll show up. Yeah, leaderboards
whatnot.
and all that.
Right.
But there's a certain value in that, and I think that if they take that same step, like right now you have, and none of us know the answer to this, but what percentage of games are better with Kinect? Like, very few. But what if every single game has some kind of Kinect capable, option? That would give, I think, a lot of people more incentive to have one, because right now, what are you going to do? Talk to Mass Effect and turn your head in Forza? Like, most games you put in won't have any kind of interactivity. But if it's a working piece of hardware and every game will do something with it, I think a lot more people and a lot more people on top of the already millions that own the Kinect will grab one.
The problem is,
Yeah.
yeah, it's sold a lot, but how many? It'd be interesting to know like how many people still actually play it.
Sure. Yeah, and yeah, I think having more games, more interesting stuff to do with it, or maybe interesting is not the right word, more meaty, more significant stuff to do with it.
Yeah.
More I think
fun.
will help people. Yeah.
The best thing with the Kinect is getting a yellow card in FIFA for yelling "fuck."
That's awesome.
That's funny. Like, it's funny that they do that, but it's like, you know what? I wish I could just. Can you turn that off or something? Because like, I want to be able to scream the F word.
they like. I just turned my Kinect off. I just got rid of it.
Oh, okay. So, but you can't play with the Kinect.
Exactly. That's what I mean. How many people are just gonna shut the thing off? But
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, I haven't really had much time to play with the Kinect because I don't. First of all, I don't have an Xbox anymore. Second of all, I never got a Kinect. The only Kinect stuff that I've ever done is at like stores, like just messing around with it, And
Yeah,
then,
I had a Kinect for a little bit. My friend won a Kinect. Or he won an Xbox with the Kinect, and he let me borrow it so I could check it out for like, I don't know, it was like 6 months while he was at school. So I used it, but used it for that Kinect Star Wars game that we all loved.
Hey.
Hey, that was some grade A entertainment right there.
All right, do you guys have any more anything else to talk about, like on the kind of what's inside or the power aspect of it?
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to talk about like graphics and processing. Are we talking about that?
Yeah, that's part of this if you have anything specific.
Oh, I definitely think they're gonna have at least a gig of dedicated video memory. Like that's what my graphics card is on now, and if they're and it's not top of the line, and if they're releasing later this year, that's gonna be even more outdated already, and they only have like what 512 megabytes of memory in it. In the 360, they need to at least double it, and they're probably gonna go like a quad core processor, because they have I think the tri-core processor, the Xenon, which is AMD, so they're gonna go at least quad core with that. And we already talked about hard drives and crap; they're gonna be bigger, but
yeah. Hopefully they give you a bigger hard drive. Like my PS3's only got a 120, and I constantly run out of space. And
yeah, I just got that 300, man.
Yeah, my Xbox never ran out of space because I never freaking played the thing, so there was like no space to take up, But as in terms of processing power, I mean, I already know I'm not going to flock back to the Xbox brand. I'm gonna buy it because I'm a nerd and I need my exclusives. But I'm not gonna, flock back to it because, oh, the graphics are a little better than the PlayStation. I'm pretty invested in my PlayStation, but I mean, I don't want it to be terrible. But I don't really have an opinion on hard drive space or anything. I just kind of what I mainly care about is like what are they gonna do in terms of games?
Yeah.
Need something more.
I need something more. You need to get me, I'm not, like, I'm going to buy it, but I'm not excited about it. You got to get me excited about it. You know what I mean? That's me.
Do we have anything else for this topic?
No.
Okay,
No.
so we're going to move on to used games. This is something we talked about with the PlayStation as well. Do we think that the next Xbox is going to restrict used games? And if so, how?
No.
No,
Yeah, I
it's
think it
going
will.
to be the pass thing like you guys talked about for the PS3. Like, I think Scott talked a lot about that. You're just going to have more online passes for games.
Yeah.
So that publishers get the revenue and not GameStop.
Yeah.
For
Well,
used
I'm
games.
pretty sure GameStop's not going to exist in the next 5 to 10 years, so.
Well, they're making a big push through Congregate to develop mobile games under the games, or like indie games. Sorry, indie and mobile indie games. So they're trying to increase their headway into video games as a whole. So I think they'll be around, just not in the same aspect.
They won't be
are now.
retailers.
Yeah, they're turning into publishers themselves.
It's interesting. I mean, they gotta do something.
I think they realize like that's the only way they're gonna survive.
Yeah, and I have no problem with it because they're gonna be helping indie games out, and there's a lot of creative things coming out of the indie scene still. So we'll be able to see more good ones, hopefully.
Definitely.
Thanks to GameStop.
Yep.
Thanks, GameStop.
Thank you.
Power to the players.
God damn it. Fuck you, GameStop.
Oh boy. Is there anything else on these games that kind of we talked a lot about at PlayStation, and there's not much to really discuss. I just kind of wanted to bring it up because it's also something that factors into the Xbox.
Yeah, I mean,
does anyone have anything radically new to talk about with used games?
They keep like rumoring, oh, it's not gonna play used games, but I just can't see it happening.
You know, it's like one of the. It's like in high school when you had all those like those empty threats by administrators, like, you know, oh, we're going to cancel prom or some shit like that. Like, if you guys don't, you know, if you don't behave, we're going to do this. And like, yo, bullshit, you're not going to do that, you know.
If you,
I kind of feel like it's going to be like that. Well, we're going to restrict it, and they're not going to do it.
If you, oh my God, if you don't shut up, we're going to turn this car around. We're not going to go to Disneyland.
Yeah, no, because we're not going to go take advantage of our hotel and prepaid Disneyland package because you guys were being bad. No, I don't think Dad's turning
I don't
that
think
car
so,
around.
Mom and Dad.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, guys, but I don't think you're going to lose that much money just because we've been brats. All right, so we're going to move on to control methods. Woo. So the first thing here, do you guys think that I mean, obviously, we all kind of are assuming that a Kinect 2.0 is happening. Do you think it's going to be packaged into the Xbox on release?
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be just something that they just want everybody that has an Xbox also has the Kinect 2.0?
They're going to put it in there.
I think they'll pack it, yeah. But again, like I said before, it depends how serious they are about the Kinect.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if they want to put it into, like, if they want to start, as Scott, as you were suggesting, possibly, like, you know, hey, let's just make every game have some kind of Kinect functionality, then they kind of have to pack it in there, you know, get it into everyone's home so that people go, well, you know what, I have it, I might as well try it.
Or, I could see them packing it in with the, I guess, like, the standard set or the premium set, maybe, and having a GIMP set without it. Mm-hmm. But I think that they will GIMP the set without it so hard that it will be for a very niche audience. Like, I could see them selling it, you know, a cheap Xbox that will be for people who want Madden and, like, you know, some other game every
like Call of Duty.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Call of Duty.
But they somehow have to sell it in a way that most people won't want that. And I don't know how they do that, so I'd probably say, yeah, they'll pack it in with everything.
Yeah.
They'll have the casual gamer edition and the hardcore gamer edition. I don't know.
They already have half of that word with the core when they came out with the 60.
Except that was like, here's the core of what you need. That's basically what it was.
Here's the bare bones of what you need.
Here's the bare minimum of what you need. And they had memory cards, and they got rid of those real quick.
The arcade version is what I bought, and then I just bought a hard drive off eBay, and it was cheaper than buying the premium version, and I didn't have that crappy-looking Chrome on my Xbox.
That's right.
Was there a difference between the arcade and the core? I know the arcade was like a different version.
No, they were the same thing. They just
later.
Rebranded it. Actually, the arcade didn't come with a memory card, I believe.
No, yeah, it came with nothing.
Came with nothing.
Did it come with some like flash memory?
It came in with packed in with some games, but I don't think it had any.
Yeah, it came with Xbox Live Arcade games. Came with
came with Uno, which is why Uno is one of the most popular.
You know what?
XBLA games.
You might say Uno is numero uno when it comes to Xbox Live games.
Yeah, man.
I see what you did there.
I played so much Uno, like it was like unhealthy.
They just.
I was playing Uno. I was eating at Uno. I was, you know.
Eating. Somehow I was playing Uno on my Xbox while eating at Uno. I did it.
It was so bad. I played so much that I couldn't eat anything but Uno because it's the same name.
PowerPoint.
I counted 1, 2, 3 by going Uno, 2, 3.
Jesus Christ. Okay, stop.
All right. So we all think Connect 2 is probably going to be packed in at the very least to a premium set.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's going to be premium because I don't want there to be a Connect on my desk at all that gives me yellow cards in FIFA because I just like fail it. And I don't even need to buy the Connect because it's going to have to sell me. Like, and unless they have a huge marketing push for that Connect 2 that sells me, I'm not going to want it.
I really think they're going to force it on you because I think they're going to want it in everyone's living room.
Yeah.
And
They
you know,
watch you.
Yep, mine.
it's like Steam. It's like Steam, right? Where when Half-Life 2 launched, it required Steam, and a lot of people hated it. But
Yeah, but Steam
but,
didn't
you know,
do stuff you didn't want to do.
It's like Final Fantasy 11, where they make you download the freaking Play Online thing or whatever that Square has. Man, that was so annoying. It only had one game on it. It's like, jeez.
To prevent piracy of our one game.
Yeah, yeah. That people still play for some reason. I'm so amazed.
Yeah,
The game wasn't even that great.
it doesn't change though. That's the issue. Like, it's not like you can play through it again and be totally different.
Yeah, well, that and all of your characters can like your one character can literally do all the classes.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's I don't know, it's weird.
So, Connect 2, obviously, we're going to probably be seeing that. How about the smart glass integration? Do you guys think they're going to be trying to push that a little bit more? You know, maybe try some direct competition with Nintendo over that gamepad?
They're going to do
stuff.
that
What do you guys
because
think?
Sony's doing the same thing with the Vita. Like, I mean, they're already doing it right now. So I think the Vita is going to be very integral to the PS4. I mean, not like you're not like you're going to need it, but I think there's going to be some like really awesome stuff that people are going to do with both. And Microsoft's going to want to do that too. And of course, smart glass isn't just for games, obviously, because I mean it's Microsoft. They use it for like HBO Go and shit, where they're like, look at the map of frickin' what's that show? Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
They're like, you can see the map of the world and where they're at while you're watching. It's like, I don't want to do that.
I'm trying to watch a show, not look at a map.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch a freaking TV show, alright?
I think the problem with smart glass and Vita, for that matter, I mean, it's only fair to talk about Sony on this podcast because I think we talked about Microsoft a bunch on the other podcasts.
You guys
So, I think the problem there is, so yeah, those are obvious responses to the Wii U, but it goes back to what I was saying about the Kinect, right? Nintendo forced the tablet on people. You have to have that tablet. And because you don't have to have your own separate tablet or a Vita, and the Wii remote, they take this new technology and force it on you because otherwise it won't work. Their strategy won't work. And because you don't need a Vita and you don't need a tablet or smartphone for Surface, I don't think either of those things will have huge attachment because it's going to require developers to put extra time and money into doing stuff for it for a consumer base that won't necessarily have it.
Yeah.
And so I think you'll see fun little extras in some stuff. Maybe you can pick your plays in Madden or whatever else. But I don't think it'll ever be some like, yo, you gotta play this game, but you gotta play it with the Surface. I don't think that'll ever happen.
You gotta play this game, bro. But you gotta play it with the Surface. You gotta jump around.
Bro, check it out. I can auto aim in Call of Duty with my Surface. What? Then everyone would have it. If it would be like an aimbot.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Honestly, I have no idea what smart glass is.
Okay, the smart glass is basically the it's the software that allows allows your smartphones or your smart devices like iPads
tablets
and all that kind of shit, tablets, whatever.
I don't think smartphone's really like a legitimate term anymore. I think it's just fucking phone.
I don't.
Phone and dumb
It's
phone.
just
And
your
James
phone
has a dumb
now.
phone.
I don't have a smartphone.
I don't either, but
Yeah, exactly. Back off.
I don't refer to it as a
nice phone that makes phone calls, and makes phone calls, and that's what it does. But anyway, it's the thing that basically allows you to use those devices
James
as
over
controllers for games or for extra content and things like that. So like as he was saying, if you maybe have a tablet or whatever, and you sync up to some fucking Netflix or whatever, and they like might have extra content about like, oh look, Game of Thrones, like do you want to see like bios about the characters and shit or whatever while you're watching it, or for
And
games
miss
like
the story.
say like if you want to, why don't you call your plays in Madden or whatever with the fucking tablet instead of clicking with the controller or some shit like that, things like that.
Well, things like plays in Madden, I mean, it makes sense because you don't want
Especially if you're playing, with
couch
someone
co-op and
next to
shit.
you.
You don't want your friends to see that because they're like,
Oh, I
That
know.
was
Yeah.
actually very useful on the Dreamcast. Just make
The
your play
VMU.
calls on the VMU. Yeah.
Yeah, Dreamcast, ahead of its time.
And it's still in its prime, getting a game.
Yeah, I know.
coming.
Random Japanese developers always putting out games for it.
If I'm not mistaken, it's actually a German developer.
Is it? I don't know. I
I think
remember
so.
like a year or two ago, some Japanese developer came out with a game for it, and I'm like, really? Like, all right.
Hey, don't be surprised, man. There is a port of Legend of Zelda coming out on the ColecoVision. So
Yes.
Oh my
Time to dust that bitch off.
I just gotta say, I have like the hugest admiration for home brewers and people that write that kind of stuff.
yeah, it's awesome. There's a whole not to get too far off on a tangent here, but there's a whole demake society
Yeah, I know that.
community, I guess. It's
There's
basically
also,
like instead of remaking old games for new hardware, you demake new games for old hardware.
Yeah, they've had a bunch of those for
And a
NES
Left 4
that
Dead
I've
one.
played on the emulators and stuff.
Yeah, there's a Halo 2600 for the Atari 2600.
That is it's such a weird trend.
Yeah,
It's such a weird
cool
thing
though.
to do.
It's fun.
really,
It's
really
interesting. It's interesting.
It's really cool to
weird.
see people take like what makes something like Halo or Mega Man, and take those core elements and adapt them to hardware that is 35 years old, and see how they retain that feeling with this 1 kilobyte game file.
1 kilobyte. Jesus.
1 kilobyte.
And that's huge.
It's got a 1 kilobyte
Yeah.
hard drive.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And actually, I think a kilobyte is
I
actually
think I'm
kind of
dying right now.
an Atari game.
All right. So, anything else about control methods? Do you guys have anything else you want to
I
add
think it's
into
pretty
that
much going to
segment?
be the same controller.
I
Yeah, I don't
think
think
it
the
will
controllers
literally
will
be the
change.
same controller.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the exact same controller.
God, they need to get
Same
rid.
thing I said
they
for
need
the
to-
PlayStation.
I think they need to do something with the battery packs. So maybe they'll have
All
some
rechargeable
cheap-
like the PlayStation.
Yeah, little lithium ion
Yeah.
ones like PS3.
It's like-
but other than
Actually,
that,
I'm actually a big fan of the way the 360 does it because if the battery goes bad over time or if it wears out, I don't have to, struggle to replace it. I can just recharge my AA's or buy some new ones.
Or you could even get a play and charge kit and then just.
I've had bad luck with those. I've had bad luck with
Have
those.
you?
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
actually had 2 playing charge kits, and one of them broke.
Oh well,
Yeah.
I've had like 10.
Mine didn't break.
Right. I just,
yeah, mine stopped
it just,
working.
They turn into wired controllers.
It's always my fault. Because like, well, not my fault, but like, my little brother will steal them or something, and then I don't know, they like bash it or something. I don't know. This was a while ago, but like when we were like 2006, he was like 7 or whatever. He like bashed the thing, fucked it up. It doesn't work anymore. Like all our old ones don't work anymore. But
Yeah,
Anyway,
my
yeah,
PS3
there's
controllers are starting to show some wear because I play them so damn much. Like when I push down on L3, sometimes it thinks I'm pushing R1. So if I try to run in Uncharted, it starts firing. I'm like, God damn it! It pisses me off. Like I need to get a new controller. I
You can
contemplated.
get one for like $25 on Amazon.
Really?
Yeah,
gonna
for
pick one
sure.
up right now.
Because I
Official
just
thing or
Yeah,
yeah,
the
official
official
Sony
third
ones.
party.
Yes.
Or you can buy the Nyko Raven.
No, I'm
That
good.
is the really. It is great. It is a 360 controller for the PS3. It's great.
I'm alright. I like my DualShock.
Yeah.
I really like the.
I can't
the
sign
Xbox
on to third-party
360.
controllers.
I like the Xbox 360.
Yeah, I'm
controller
not
more
a fan
than
of
PS3 now.
third-party stuff. Just
But no, I don't like third party.
You're saying you never had a Pelican controller for the GameCube?
I did, but it's because someone bought it for me for Christmas.
Yeah. It's like when your
but they
little
were the
wiener
best.
friends buy you the shitty controllers and you're like, thanks.
You're like,
And then
oh
like
yeah,
that.
you only got
you
this
can
'cause
use
was,
it
like,
when
way
you come
cheaper.
over.
Pelican was the best third-party controller developer.
I thought Logitech made really nice ones for the PS2 and original Xbox.
Didn't Logitech
their wireless
make
are awesome.
the first wireless PS2 controller, and it was like a huge
I
deal?
thought Pelican did.
I don't know
Was
if
it
it was the
Pelican?
first, but
Somebody made that
Logitech
shit.
makes the best ones. Logitech makes really, really nice
Yeah,
wireless
well,
controllers.
Logitech makes pretty good almost everything. So
Yeah, Logitech's good. The Mad Catz Street Fighter controllers are fantastic.
those are fucking awesome.
Both the pads and the
Yeah.
actual sticks.
My friend
I
had
both, so.
the PS2 ones for a while. Those were cool because he had they made like Street Fighter collection or whatever on PS2. We played the hell out of that game, but he had the pads, so we would use the pads, and that was good times.
Wow, they're selling the Logitech PS2 cordless controller for $40 still. What the hell?
Yeah, you know the
Yeah, they're great. They're
you know
amazing.
the GameCube AV cords are like worth $100,
Component.
What?
or the component.
Not the AVs. The component ones are really hard to find.
I about freaked out. I was like, 'cause I have those.
You know,
I-
so you can
I
play your
don't.
GameCube in 480p.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're a little off topic, but that's okay.
A little.
Let's go.
My
We
bad.
got a couple more things to talk about. Firstly, the price. So, over under $400. What do you guys think?
Under.
$3.99.
Under by $1. You think it's going to be a
$3.99.
$3.99?
98. They're like,
What, it's
we
gonna be a
beat
Walmart
Sony
price?
by 1
Yeah.
cent.
$397.78.
That's like that's like Walmart pricing right there, where they're like, we have the so like we have the cheapest prices. It's $49.97. You're like, ugh, Walmart.
Oh, they always do that.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the Amazon Prime price.
Oh yeah, Amazon Prime prices get a little weird too. Like, 'cause usually they factor in shipping into their main prices, so that it evens out to like an even price. But then when you get free shipping, it screws that all up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have Amazon Prime right now, so.
I got it. I got
I
it.
hear it's pretty awesome if you
It
buy a
is.
lot of
Plus-
stuff on
plus
Amazon.
There's like free random ass TV shows that you can watch on your consoles sometimes, like if you don't have Netflix or whatever.
I have Netflix, so I don't.
There's some different ones like once
Yeah.
in a while. But I didn't get it for the shows, obviously.
All right, so we think the Xbox is going to be basically at the $400 price range. Do you guys think they're going to have different SKUs? You know, like a premium and a not quite so premium, bigger hard drive, maybe something like that.
I think they're gonna.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think
Or
that's just
they'll
kind
do
of
what
a
they'll do what
fact of life now
Scott
for
or
consoles.
who said they might have a premium that's just the Connect or whatever. Was that Zach?
Yeah, well, Scott said, and I reiterated that I agreed with him.
Oh, okay.
Like they're gonna have the base
Yeah.
model without the Connect, and then I think they're gonna have two Connect versions. One, the step up will have a bigger hard drive and maybe something
You think
else.
three SKUs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 SKUs.
Three
That's what
SKUs you're thinking, wow.
I think like that's too much.
That's basically what they have now. But
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're
Because-
taking into account the financed one, right?
oh no, I
Or the
wasn't.
Connect one.
I'm just thinking like you have the 4 gig, you have the 4 gig, you have the 250 gig, and then you have the 4 gig and Connect or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's gonna be like that, but flip flopped, and 2 of them are gonna have Connects and 1's not. That's what I think.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I have a
No,
feeling
I agree.
I have a feeling that there could be something that what they did with like the core or arcade where it's like super cheap. Not like 250, but maybe like a 299 model.
Yeah, that's probably what's gonna be. and that's
$2.99
what
and $3.99.
It'd be
and then maybe a 350.
yeah. Or they could just do what Microsoft did in Canada, where they had like $2.99, $3.99, $4.99.
A little weird.
Mhm.
I think it's going to depend on the markets, of course. You know what? You know what's going to be interesting to see is if Microsoft even releases the console in Japan.
Oh yeah.
Like
that will
the
be-
audience there is so small that it's
Yeah,
like
how many Xboxes
like, what's the
sold
point?
there? Like 19?
yeah, they only make like 10,000 versions of any one game. I'm pretty sure. Like Some really minuscule number, like nobody. They really tried to push with Japan with the 360, but it just didn't work. Didn't pan out.
So, if we have nothing else about price, we're going to talk about what Josh wants to talk about. We're going to talk about games.
Games!
Okay, so the first thing we talk about, possible launch, titles or, anything that might be coming out for it. On the PlayStation 1, we talked about the Watch Dogs game, which I believe was going to be a multi-platform. That might be a next-gen title.
Yeah, it's multi-platform.
We talked about that one on there. If you want to hear our speculation, you can go to that podcast. I was thinking along the lines for this one specifically was Destiny, which is that upcoming Bungie game, which it's going to be published by Activision, so I think it's going to be coming out on both systems. It's not just going to be the Xbox. It won't be exclusive, but do you guys think that that's going to be maybe a launch title, maybe some kind of a something they can put out there at least for the launch of the 720, or what do you guys think about that?
Wasn't it supposed to be launched this year, Destiny? Because wasn't that whole leaked? There was like those leaked documents that said that every 2 years there was going to be a new one, and then there was going to be like a portable game or something, if I'm not mistaken. Like they said that in the in-between years, or in the in-between years there'd be like DLC. They have like expansion packs or whatever. See, every time I hear about it, I feel like it's going to be like an MMO. It's not going to be...
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I don't know how they're going to make sequels. Maybe the multiplayer is very MMO-y or something. I don't know, man. It's like... But, I mean, Destiny, yeah, it's going to be big for Microsoft because they're going to be able to say, like, oh, it's from the people that made Halo, and people are going to go, oh, man, Halo? Bro,
That's true.
You know about that Halo,
All about that Halo.
All about that Halo.
The official reveal of Destiny is supposed to be coming up at GDC.
Oh, man, I'm going there.
And, yeah, that's from the 25th to the 29th of March.
Hopefully they have it there to
interesting.
play.
And we'll see if they can, what happens with that. And does anyone have anything else to say about Destiny?
Now you kind of got me hyped. I didn't know it was going to be at GDC. Because I'm going. Like, I mean, it's like 30 minutes away, so I'm going to go.
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
I'm a little out of the loop. Destiny is the Bungie game, is that right?
The upcoming Bungie shooter, yeah.
Okay.
It's the one where the next
sci-fi
10 years
shooter.
of great Bungie adventures will unfold. So they're saying this is their future. This is going to be the next decade. Is going to be dealing with this. It's going to be kind of like how Halo was
Activision
so
already
many years for them.
signed the contract with them saying that they would produce 3 games and DLC for each of the games. And each of them would come out in a 2-year cycles. That was the deal that got leaked. It's because they were having that, there was like some court case or something going on, and those documents were, it was between Activision and Infinity Ward, and I guess those documents were brought up in court, so there was like this huge leak about the deal that they had between Bungie and Activision about Destiny, and yeah, they detailed like the whole plan that I guess the first game was going to come out this year, then DLC next year, and a game every other year basically. So, I mean, who knows if that'll actually still happen, but it seems pretty likely to me. Seems like that's what we're going to get.
So, other than Destiny, there was a bit of news a little while ago about a couple of new IPs coming out for Microsoft. There was a LinkedIn profile of, I forgot the man's name.
Senior Product Manager and Planner Jonathan Brown.
There it is, Jonathan Brown. He said that he has been working. Part of his profile basically said that he's been working on 4 new unannounced IPs for Microsoft. So obviously, console launches and stuff. We're a lot of times we like to. People like to launch new IP at or around console launch. Although, like the big new IP for the 360 was Gears of War, but that didn't come out till about a year after the console did.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about these new IPs? Do you think they're going to be some kind of like? Do you think we're going to be disappointed in that it's going to be like for us? It was new IP for Kinect, or do you guys think that it's going to be like some legit? Stuff, and do you think we'll see any of these at launch?
One of them's supposed to be a new shooter that uses Kinect, so fuck that.
Okay.
In my opinion.
You know what I
honestly,
just thought
but
of? We still haven't seen the game that Respawn Entertainment's been working on for like a year and a half.
I think I'm hoping that would be a launch title, but I'm not sure because I know they're definitely going to want to take their time. These guys want to produce a good product.
Well, that and I mean they made Call of Duty, so they're gonna have they're gonna have all the time in the world because EA is gonna give it to them.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's going to give it to him.
Give it to
Well, if you remember, when the 360 first launched, they had Call of Duty 2 as an exclusive.
that
So,
game
you
sold
never know.
so much.
Yeah.
I played that on PS2.
Get Rare back on Cameo.
For fuck's sake, please!
Cameo was. I
I've
love
been
Cameo.
waiting for a Cameo 2 for what is it, 7 years now, and I still don't have it.
Oh man, and they had the concept art and stuff for the sequel that never got made.
It looked so cool. It was so awesome looking. Oh God, man, they freaking destroyed Rare, man. I don't know. It's so sad.
Killer
what
Instinct
they
though
did to that
is
game.
happening, I guess.
Huh?
Supposedly, Killer Instinct is happening.
Yeah, but then every time they say it's happening, it like gets disproven.
It's not happening.
I don't think they've ever said it's happening officially, but recently, like I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, there was like an official announcement from Microsoft that was saying like, we know some of you guys, or like apologies to our journalistic friends who watch like trademark filings, but we thought we'd break this news ourselves. We've like registered the Killer Instinct trademark.
Yeah, I
That is
saw
all.
that, but then I saw somewhere else that it didn't matter. Like they weren't working on it. It was because they were gonna re-release the game or something.
I mean, we'll see. It just seems very bizarre for Microsoft to go out of their way to say that if they're not doing anything with it, you know?
I don't know. I agree though. They got to do something.
Killer
with
Instinct
Rare.
sucks though, so I hope that series is dead forever.
It's got its fan base, but
I played 2 the other day in an arcade and it was bad. So bad.
I just want Cameo again. That game was great.
Hey, Cameo's
Like
great.
I got that and Perfect Dark when I got my console, and I played so much Cameo. Like it's not even funny. The game was freaking fantastic, and it was original. It was fun. It had like a really cool art style. It had one of those like really charming, nice endings, but it also kind of left it open, like, ooh, they're gonna make Cameo 2. And then shortly after the game came out, they're like, oh, we're actually making a Cameo animated movie. Whatever happened to that shit? We don't know. And then then that whole thing comes out where they're like, well, here was the Perfect Dark 3 / Cameo concept art and 3D models and stuff that we never used, and here's the prototype footage for Perfect Dark 3, and I was like, ah, so angry. Like,
Yeah, a new Perfect Dark would be cool.
it's like, Rare, you guys make great freaking games, but instead of doing that, make some Avatar clothes. It's like, oh.
I mean, Rare made more bad games than good games, but we'll see. I don't see a lot of new IPs really coming out that stick around. It's going to be the usual like Resistance-esque
Maybe like
things
another
where a couple
Heavenly
will stand
Sword.
out.
Okay. All right. So let's get to the last topic here. Unless last topic. Sorry, Xbox Live. So what do you guys think they're gonna be doing about Xbox Live in terms of changing around the service or stuff like that? Obviously,
Seriously.
we're seeing PlayStation Network and PlayStation Plus. It is starting to catch up in terms of popularity and stuff. At first, PlayStation Network, it was no compete with Xbox Live.
It's much better than it was
And
a couple
it's
years
much better
ago.
much better than it was. So, do you think that Xbox is going to, Xbox, Microsoft, they're going to start, feeling that pressure and maybe, bring the price down a little bit or add some different functionality? What do you guys think?
They're not going to drop the price, but they really, really need to have an option where I can play stuff online for free. I mean, I don't want to pay to play Halo for like a month, Like, I just don't want to do it. But I feel like they won't, because they're like, millions of people already pay for it, so why should we change,
I mean, it's one of their biggest moneymakers.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, you get people to pay what, like $60 a year,
Yeah.
Yep.
to get
50.
Is it
No,
50? I thought it's 60 now.
It's 60.
It's
It
60.
went up last year.
Yep.
Oh, god damn it.
He's like, I haven't been checking my
You're like,
credit
it's on
card.
my
If-
credit
if
card.
You
you
don't
were-
even notice. They
No, if you
suddenly
were
you're gonna be spending
locked
200.
in, if you were locked in at a certain time, they left you locked in at a rate, I think. But
Oh, well, then
It's still
I guess
hell
that
of
means I was
expensive.
locked in. But anyway, yeah. So, like, when I was, thinking up this topic and stuff, what I was thinking of is that, like, say, PlayStation Plus, right?
Freaking low.
I think the big reason that people are, it's especially Josh and Matt, who's swooning over PlayStation Plus.
Dude,
But the reason why it's so
Nate,
popular
even Nate,
is-
like freaking
the
loves
reason why it's so
PlayStation.
oh, even I just got it. I
You know.
love it.
the reason why it's so popular is because it's very good at giving tangible deliverables to the customer. So
Free
you
games,
say, okay,
babe.
what do I get? You get free games. You get tons of free games. You get free games all the
You
time.
also get lots
they
of
say,
deals.
hey, look, we're PlayStation Plus. This is what we have. F you.
Mic
There's
drop.
that.
Mic
And
drop.
then, but like, so Microsoft has this thing where, okay, well, pay us $60, and we'll let you play online, which PlayStation lets you do for free.
We'll
So
also let
most
you watch
people
your
are saying,
Netflix,
what
which you
can
already pay for.
We're saying, like, what can you do with Xbox? And most consumers will say, well, for Xbox Live Gold, oh, it allows me to play games online. And it's not as easy to tell that, oh, well, there's other things to the service. I know, Josh, you went off on a rant about this, about, like, there's better stuff. The service itself is better. There's more stuff in there. But these aren't the things that are in the forefront that people see. So I
Yeah.
think Microsoft needs to find a way to make their stuff more tangible to the consumer, or it doesn't seem like it's as much of a value.
Yeah, I get what you mean. What I mean by the fact that Xbox Live itself is a better service is I just mean that the servers are faster, the audio quality is much better, and you get slightly more into, like, the invite system is also way better. But, like, I mean, yeah, what do you really get, You get that. That's about it.
Well, yeah, and it's like, that's all well and good and stuff. I don't know if $60 a year is, if most people would say that's the value of it, but, like, it needs to give the consumer something, because even if those things were a bajillion times better than PlayStation's, those are still not things that the average consumer is really going to be thinking about. So I think they kind of need to do a better job of getting out there. Oh, well, this is what we can specifically do for you. You pay us $60 a year, and we're going to take care of you with this, this, and this, as opposed to, oh, well, we have better servers, or it's the audio is better. Those things, the average guy isn't paying attention.
You know what they could do?
The average person on Xbox is also not someone who's a huge gamer who's going to be really paying attention to how fast the servers are. If it just plays, it plays.
Yeah.
But I think also the average user is going to be someone who says, like, hey, what do I have to do to play Call of Duty? $60? All right, done. Because in their head, like, how many games is the average person buying a year? Are they buying, 20 games a year? Are they buying 10 games a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's been a value that they've been okay with, and clearly Microsoft understands that because they raised the price from 50 to 60. So like,
probably made millions of dollars doing
it. It's funny.
I mean, how many subscribers are there to Xbox Live?
Millions.
I don't know,
42 million. So
Something
like,
that.
if they raised it by $10, like, that's a shitload of more money every year.
Yeah. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because that's another thing I was thinking of too. Is like, as much as they might, one, kind of playing the devil's advocate here, one way you could look at it is that they're feeling pressure from Sony because their service is getting better. But another way you could look at it is, do you think that they're just, satisfied with, what they have, and do you think they're going to jack up the price when the new system comes out to, get the Xbox Live, $70 a year? What do you guys think?
Jesus, I really hope not. But
I don't think they will.
I was just thinking about now, back when PSN was, free, and I mean, it's still free, but back when PlayStation Plus didn't exist, and there were all those rumors coming out, like Sony's exploring, payment option, and people were pissed.
Yeah.
Because they thought, oh my God, they're gonna charge me to play online now, and then it came out, and that's not what it was. But I mean, yeah, Xbox Live doesn't really give you much. I think if they wanted to really get on board with their consumers or whatever, maybe open up more windows where silver people can play online. Like, maybe on the weekends, like maybe Friday nights and through the weekend, silver people can play online for free. but any other time you can't play, and you can pay. And then maybe if you're gold, you know, we'll give you if you buy a lot of stuff on the store, you know, we'll give you a couple extra bucks off.
You do. Well, you get rewards back at the end of the month for what you purchased.
Well, that's only during certain things, right?
It's negligible. No, it's overall. There's like, if you spend so much, you get so much back. It doesn't matter what it is. And then there's specials where you get more back if you buy that whatever they're trying to push at you. But it's still it's mostly negligible kind of discounts, not what PS Plus is offering.
Yeah, PS Plus, it's like you immediately get a ton of free games. You just like right off the bat, as soon as you sign up, you get like 10
games.
games.
Instant game library.
Yeah, you get like 10 games, and they switch certain ones out every month. Every week you get something. Like some weeks it's really small, some weeks it's like really big. Usually the first week of a month is like a whole retail title or like a Vita game, you know, and then after that it's like, oh well, here's some really obscure PSP game you probably never played but probably wanted to play at some point, or here's a PSN game that came out 2 years ago that maybe you played, maybe you didn't play. How about, you know, download it, like Rochard, we just got that for free. I never played that, so I'm happy to get that.
Oh wait, you got Rochard? I don't think I did, so.
It might still be up. Guardians of Middle-earth is free tomorrow, which I was like, man, I should have waited, but...
Yeah, I'm excited, because, I mean, my nickname in real life is Frodo, and I'm a huge Lord of the Rings buff, but...
We'll have to play.
Well,
so,
would you maybe like to see Microsoft, because I don't think they're going to take the free games stance that
no,
Sony
they're not
has.
going to do that. But I want them to open up to people that don't want to, you know, don't play the Xbox that much, and maybe want to play, you know, let people who don't pay kind of play, but give them a window.
It's maybe, or I could see them either exclusively through Gold, though that would be harder to maybe justify to people buying it.
Or,
but overall, have them adopt the Steam sale mentality.
Yeah.
Have deep discounts. You
know,
know,
that'd be donkulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if/when they push towards this digital distribution model.
Yeah. That or
That's not a bad idea.
Oh, fuck, I just forgot what I was gonna say. I was like, I had this statement ready, and then Scott was talking, and I totally forgot. Oh no, I got it back. I got it back.
You got it.
Okay. Maybe like you can let silver people play, but maybe they put something in to where maybe you see a quick ad or something, and you can play for like 3 or 4 hours online.
Well, I heard they're already adding more ads to the dashboard to begin with. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's already so many. You know what? I kind of hate
that the home screen is going to be only ads, and you're going to have to switch to a new page to start the game, but only after watching an ad.
They already do that.
You don't even have to watch that. So like, I don't even notice them because I'm looking where I'm going to be clicking, and I know where the ads are.
Yeah, but it's subliminal.
Those the ads on Xbox. It's funny because until someone pointed out how many ads there were, I didn't even notice it because I just press the button, you know, just to get right to the game. I usually don't go through the other features, so it usually pops up. And a lot of the time, what'll happen is my TV will be loading before, like I'll press my Xbox on and then I'll put my TV on. Usually the Xbox will completely load up before the TV does because the TV's a little slow. So I'll just keep pressing the A button, and sometimes the game will start loading. And by the time the TV is actually showing me a picture, I'm past the home screen. But yeah, they have a lot of ads. But they have a lot of ads in there. But you know what? They're just in there, and I think for a lot of users, they don't even really see them as ads. They're just there, and some of they see is it's just featured content. It's like, oh, you know, the new Halo 4 DLC, you know, like, you know, map pack is out or something. It's like, you know, why not have that on there so that we can, so that when it comes out, I want to be able to press the button and just buy it. It's, you know, simplified.
I'm usually someone who's pretty pro ads, so, you know, because, you know, we run a digital thing here, and
yeah,
I mean, we don't,
a digital thing.
We run a digital network thing here, you know, but I like that when I turn my PS3 on, you know, I just see what I'm gonna do with the device. I don't have to see, and there is a little section that if you scroll over, it's like, here's a bunch of stuff, and then in the upper right corner, there's like scrolling text that says like, oh, did you know like such and such is available for PlayStation Plus? And it just kind of scrolls by, and I mean,
oh yeah,
yeah, that's fine. But I hated when I booted up my Xbox and I would just see a bunch of ads, and then like, play your game? Question mark. Like,
Nah.
kind of annoyed me, but if I mean, I don't play my Xbox much to begin with, well, because I don't have one. But if I still had it, I would not mind if I could play online for free, but maybe I watched like a 30-second commercial and I got to play online for like 3 or 4 hours. Wouldn't mind. I'd be okay with that.
All right. Does
I want my ads in my Call of Duties.
Does
well, then that's
anyone-
why you pay for gold. That gets rid of the ads, right?
That's true. That could be something.
See? I just solved their problem. That's for you, Microsoft.
You're welcome.
They would argue it's not even a problem. People are paying, so who cares? Exactly. Who cares if you're annoyed? People pay for it.
Not really.
Does anybody have anything else? Because I think we're just about at the end of the conversation here. Does anyone have anything else that they want to add on about the Xbox? You know, that's going to be coming up. Anything we might not have discussed?
Give me Cameo 2 or I'm not going to buy it. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, but seriously, give me Cameo 2.
Don't make it glossy.
Also, give me Alan Wake 2.
I want Alan Wake too.
Really, what I'm most curious about, and this isn't just the Xbox, but it's also the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
What is going to be the new Bloom and Brown for this next generation?
What the hell does
You guys
that
know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Like when the 360 launched and then the PS3, it seemed like every single game had a desaturated brown and green color palette, and they had hard blooming light on every single surface.
Because they were trying to make it look awesome.
Oh, that's right. I had such a fight over this with somebody because
Everything
I
was glowing.
didn't see it. Because I didn't see it. And he's like, they're all brown. And I'm like, I don't see it. So he showed me pictures, and he kept showing me pictures, and I kept going, I really don't see anything that's particularly brown here. Other than what's supposed to be brown. Like, it's dirt. And he's like, it's brown. But I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to be brown. And I had such a fight because I never really saw this thing that you're talking about. It's funny because I'm sure it's there, but I never, ever saw it.
Everything was really shiny and foggy.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was the bloom lighting mostly.
Yeah.
Everything was bloomy. And yeah, I'm wondering what the new fad is going to be.
I don't know. It's like there was a really funny VG Cats comic about the next gen, and that was the thing. They were like, everything's super glowy, and like they made the panel like really glowy, and it's like my eyes. I remember that, but I don't know. We'll have to see. It's probably going to be something really stupid that we'll only see like in the launch title.
It's probably, it's probably something I'm not going to be able to figure
like
out.
I was going to go, launch
here's
titles,
what it is, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're
all the
talking
launch
about,
titles on the Vita had weird like swipe things, and those kind of went away. Although I hear Killzone Mercenary has them, and I'm kind of like, ugh, but I'll get over it.
Zach or Alan, you guys have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, one last thing I would like to see for Xbox Live is that maybe the timed trials from PS Plus. Because it's like not just the demo, it's the full game, and you have so long to play it.
You get an hour.
Yeah.
You download the whole hour, and you get, or you download the whole game, not the whole hour. You download the whole game,
don't download
and then
the hour.
it's locked for an hour, and you can play that whole hour and earn the trophies and stuff. I mean, you won't earn them if you're only playing the trial, but you earn the trophies and stuff, and then after the hour, it goes, like, well, I see you had fun. Do you want to buy it? And you can buy it and like continue where you left off. So it's basically like a giant demo.
Yeah, it's cool though, cause like you're not confined. Like if it's a game that has multiplayer and single player, you can kind of choose which one you want to try out or something.
Yeah, you can try the multiplayer and all that and be like, yeah, this is pretty cool. But I mean, they still have regular demos, but I do think the time trials are really cool. It's a great way to jump into a game and find out, like, okay, do I really like this or do I not? They need to do some of that.
Alan, do you have anything else you want to add?
Give me a Star Wars game and I'll be happy.
All right, so Star Wars 1313, it's going to happen, so there you go. You'll be happy.
There's a lot of rumors that that's only going to be on PS3, but I don't really believe that.
I don't believe that for a second.
I don't believe that at all. But I do believe that game's next gen. It just looks too good.
Yeah, I doubt that's a current gen game, but yes, I do agree.
It looks so fucking good.
If nothing else, I can go ahead and wrap it up. So that was the VGU.TV Roundtable podcast for the Xbox 8, Xbox 720, next Xbox, whatever you want to call it.
Infinity.
The new Xbox.
We hope you guys enjoyed our speculations and stuff,
PowerPoint.
and we'll see how we'll see who was right, who was wrong. Maybe we're all off base, and maybe they're going to call it the Zenith, and it'll be better than everything else.
The Xenon.
Or maybe
Do you remember
or
that?
maybe it'll be awful. Who knows? If you guys want to talk to us about the console or about what you guys think, you can talk to us on the forums where we hang around there. You guys can talk to us in the comments below of the article that you're hopefully reading. Check out VGU.TV for more gaming-related content, more podcasts, more stuff like that. And we'll be back next week with a roundtable. So until next time, it might be written though. So you guys might not be hearing our lovely voices. You might be reading our lovely words. So
We do have lovely words.
We need to do a podcast where it's
Have
just like
lovely
the
words.
midnight hour. We're like, I'm just gonna talk to you softly,
yeah, that sounds like a terrible idea.
All right, we won't
All
do
right.
that.
So you'll find us on
this week's pledge drive. We have so and so from Activision.
Give me money.
All right, so follow us on Facebook and Twitter. At VGU.TV. We're at VGU.TV on Twitter.
Yep.
And then you can find VGU.TV on Facebook.